You are a work of art, a brilliant light for all to see, perfect in every part, heaven and earth in harmony. The beauty of your face reveals a life of grace. You are a work of art, a masterpiece. You are a work of art, a brilliant light for all to see, perfect in every part, heaven and earth in harmony. The beauty of your face reveals a life of grace. You are a work of art, a masterpiece. I am a work of art, a brilliant light for all to see, perfect in every part, heaven and earth in harmony. The beauty of my face reveals a life of grace. I am a work of art, a masterpiece. We are a work of art, a brilliant light for all to see, perfect in every part, heaven and earth in harmony. The beauty of our face reveals a life of grace. We are a work of art, a masterpiece. We are a work of art, a
Good morning, and thank you, David Alt. What a beautiful beginning. Well, congratulations, everybody. You have discovered the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, and it is a safe and sacred place where you are honored, you are welcomed, you are loved, and no matter where you are, where you're from, and where your journey is leading you, you are so welcome here with us this morning. Thank you for joining us. So this is where we do not teach people what to think, rather how to think creatively, compassionately, constructively, lovingly, wisely. And we take deep dives into spirit, and we connect with one another with our hearts open and our minds open as well. We want to connect compassionately with all sentient beings. And we are here to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And we are here with you to co-create a world that works for all. And what we love to say here every Sunday morning, we'll invite you to join us in saying, living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And now, our opening song is by Daniel Nahmod, Swing Wide the Doors.
Please stand and join us in Swing Wide the Doors. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. this life is about. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Thank you, Emily, and our music team. Wasn't that awesome? What would you say to having a little meditative time? Would you like that? Would you care to join me? Let's just quiet ourselves. Breathe in that precious breath of life, that which sustains us, that which allows us to feel the aliveness of spirit circulating through us. Let that breath of life fill you as you inhale the sweetness of the presence and exhale any sense of separation or any feelings of anxiety. Let that divine presence just fill your body, circulating. Let it fill your emotions, your mind, releasing anything that is not serving you, and opening you to that fresh breath of new life, which is the life of the divine breathing you. Now let that breath create a pathway to your heart. And here, begin to experience a greater sense of wholeness as you see with the eye of the heart and hear with the ear of the heart. Now, in thinking about work, our creative activity, let's listen to the words of Ernest Holmes as if we are hearing them for the very first time. My business is directed by divine intelligence. The all-knowing mind knows what to do and how to do it. I do not hinder, but let it operate in my affairs. It prospers and directs me and controls my life. My affairs are managed by love and directed by wisdom. And they cannot fail to prosper and to expand. Now let's let that divine energy move us gently into knowing that which is ours to do. Let it be revealed to you, moment by moment, that which that infinite wisdom is guiding you toward, that which that divine compassion is motivating you for. And let all of this be revealed as each moment of this day unfolds in glory. All is well. All is well. And now let's invite our practitioner of the day, Mary Furtaw, to open us up this morning.
Good morning. Let us know together that there is one power in the universe, and this power is a force for good. And this power comes from the one source. The source is God, and God is infinite goodness. And each of us is an extension of this energy, forever inseparable from it. Now, Labor Day is an acknowledgement of the worker and the value of work. Our work is to express God. And when we remember that God is infinite and everywhere, then every encounter becomes a divine encounter. And this elevates every greeting, and it softens our response, and we are able to hear the guidance of the infinite and use it in the moment. And this is the truth. I am grateful to know it, and I release this treatment to the law, certain that it is so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Mary. Will you speak with me our affirmation of the day? I think creatively, work joyfully, and bring brilliance and inspiration to all I do. I heard you loudly and clearly. That was good. Thank you. Okay, kids, gather round. I'd love to have just a little time with you. Okay? I still picture you on the front row here every time we connect for these virtual kid talks. So I have a couple of questions for you. Do you enjoy doing your homework? Do you love to do your chores? Do you love to play games? You know, I remember seeing little kids having such a great time playing with toy lawnmowers and toy vacuum cleaners when they're little, but somehow not wanting to use the real ones when they get old enough to actually do that. Does that ring a bell? Well, I want to do everything that I do because I feel it is important and makes a difference. If I'm mowing the lawn, for instance, it makes the grass look better. If I'm vacuuming the carpet, it makes it nice and clean, and those are important things. I also want to do what I'm deciding to do because I have a good time while I'm doing it. And I can feel grateful that I'm strong and that I'm healthy. And I can actually have fun while I'm doing these things. I can actually make a dance out of it. Have you ever thought of taking the work that's yours to do and making a dance out of it? Even if you're doing dishes and you're doing your dishes with your family and one is washing and one is drying, you can sing while you're doing that. You can throw the dish towel back and forth. Don't get too exuberant because we want to take care of our fine china, but we can have fun doing what we know we need to do. Now, this is Labor Day weekend, and so it's a time that we just give thanks for all the people who do the things that we cannot or do not do. They make our lives better. Farmers, bus drivers, firemen, doctors, nurses, gardeners, grocery clerks, teachers, especially now when so many of them have the extra challenge of teaching you online. I want to give thanks for all the people who do the work that must be done in this world that I can't possibly do. And I'd invite you to join me in feeling grateful for these beloved people who make a difference. You know, we can't go out and pick our own food too much unless we happen to have a garden in the backyard, or we can go to a farmer's market, I suppose. But for the most part, we rely on people to grow the food, to reap the harvest of that food, somehow to get it to the stores, and then from the stores to get it to us. We don't always think about all the people who do so many wonderful things for us. There are people on assembly lines making cars and making other products that we need. Let's start really appreciating the people who labor, who do the work that makes a difference in our lives. And let's begin to feel really grateful and enter in with joy to the work that is ours to do. Let's also give thanks that we are able to make a difference in other people's lives, to do our work with love. And yes, that includes making your bed. Do it with love. Okay, it was good to be with you. I can hardly wait to see you again. Love you so much. And now, a word to the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and dear adult friends. We have a brand new month. And in this month, we have a new theme, which is everything new. Everything new. And I'd like to start today, since it is Labor Day weekend, with the idea of rethinking work. Rethinking it. Raymond Charles Barker, from his Treat Yourself to Life book, and you'll be hearing more about that in a little while, says the most important thing for you to know about your mind is that it can change. That's phenomenal, by the way. The most important thing for you to know about your mind is that it can change. That means we don't have to be stuck in a rut of, oh, this is the way it is and it's going to be like this forever. No. The most important thing for you to know about your mind is that it can change. And he goes on to say the next most important thing to know is that when you accept yourself as a creative individual, your mind goes to work to make it so. We have this fabulous mind that happens to be an expression of the one infinite mind. And all the power and all the creativity and all the brilliance is right here within each one of us to bring into our lives, to do our work, to do our joyful activity, creatively, lovingly, gratefully, and in a way that makes a difference for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our communities, and for the world itself. Labor Day, quite different than we've enjoyed in the past, isn't it? And it brings the reminder that we all have honorable work to do, and that we can give our very best to it. Some people are down the shore, socially distancing. Some are having a bike ride, having a picnic. Some staying in their own backyard to do something beautiful and have a sense of celebrating labor in every form, our own and others. So we can still have a beautiful holiday weekend, whether we're going anywhere or remaining at home, because we are honoring this beautiful sense of how important it is for each one of us to do our part to make everything work together. Each one of us is part of the entire engine of the world. Each one of us has our own work to do. Let's approach it differently, perhaps. No more drudgery. No more, I have to make this deadline. We have the ability to change our mind about this thing called work. I have realized that my work is both internal and external, and they're equally important in my mind. You see, everything begins with a mental concept, doesn't it? Everything begins with an idea. An architect thank God for the architects. The architect gets a beautiful mental equivalent of what can be created out here in the world, and then draws it out, creates it first in mind, and then drafts it, and then ultimately engages the workers to build it. But it begins as this great idea of something beautiful, something workable, something solid, something attractive, and something safe, something that people will want to go to visit or to live in, or to see art in, or to do their work in their offices. I love architecture, and I love the architects that are continually bringing us new, exciting, beautiful, workable, useful buildings and homes in which we can thrive. God bless them. As we're blessing all the workers, let's bless them as well. As I'm doing my inner work, and that begins every day, to get very clear about what is mine to do. And then sometimes asking myself, is this still mine to do? And then we can change our mind, as Raymond Charles Barker suggests. The most important thing that we can know about our minds is that we can change them. So as we're beginning with a mental concept, many of these mental concepts are ready for an upgrade. I love what Khalil Gibran says about work in his chapter on work in his book, The Prophet. He says, work is love made visible. Can you imagine if all of us would approach the idea of our work each day with the awareness that it is love made visible? What would you like to show the world? How would you like your work to show up, no matter what it is, if it seems minuscule or if it seems grand, if it seems important or if it seems, oh well? Let's change our mind about that and know that whatever we do, if we do it with love, it will be visible in the world and someone will benefit from it. You don't have to know who, don't have to know how, but the love is the power that makes it so beautifully attractive to others who see it, that it's going to make a difference in their lives. Everything we do, if we do it with love, makes a difference. And just because something in our work day may be challenging, and it's hardly a day goes by that we don't have some challenges. Let's give thanks for those challenges. Doesn't mean we can't love it. It means we can bring our best wisdom, which comes right from the infinite wisdom, to find solutions. We can do wisdom, and it makes a difference. So my inner work allows me to rethink suppositions that I have made. And my external work can be a joy or a drudgery. And what does that depend upon? My state of mind. It isn't about the task, it's about the tude. What is my attitude about the task I am approaching? I have absolute control over how I enter into my attitude. And let's let it be with gratitude that I have work to do, that I can make a difference. I don't know if you see Yoga right now. She's right here next to me, and she seems to be aware that her work right now is to entertain you, to let you know that life is good, that you can come back to a place of comfort and faith and confidence, that this world is still a friendly place, that you are loved and that you are supported. This is her work. She has a job and she takes it very seriously. And I think it is important to ask ourselves from time to time not only, is this mine to do, but is this still mine to do? You know, I've worked with people over the years who seem to be unhappy in their jobs. And this is delicious work. I love to do it because, again, we work from the inside out. And so a person who is in a situation, an employment situation, that is feeling uncomfortable or perhaps not fulfilling or confusing or whatever, when we work together in consciousness, we begin to bring greater value to each moment's activity during that day. And in doing so, a couple of different things can happen. Either things will change right there in that setting, where the value that is being brought to each task and each circumstance somehow changes the energy so that there's more fulfillment there than there might have been the day before. I've seen advancements take place when this consciousness changes. I've also seen it happen where this attitude of I'm giving it my best, I'm bringing love to my work to make that love visible, somehow can harmonize the situation to the point where another opportunity arises and they very gently and clearly find another path. And that either one can take place, and it's just fine, because the fulfillment of the love that we bring to our work is what's important, not where we are doing it quite so much. You get that? Of course. You see, as creative thinkers, and we are all creative thinkers, we were designed that way by infinite life itself. And as creative thinkers, we have the ability to bring brilliance and to bring joy and to bring love to every single thing that we do. We don't want to enter into what they say or the world believes or about the chit-chat. Are people still gathering around water coolers, coffee stations, socially distanced, of course? Most of them are still at home making their own coffee, right? But we don't want to enter into the they say. We don't want to enter into the negative world beliefs. Why do these children love their toys so much? And why do they want to emulate the adult behaviors of mowing the lawns and vacuuming the carpet and then avoid the real ones when they're old enough to make use of them? What is that? Where is the disconnect in that? I wonder if it's because they have listened to the malcontents and to the complainers about, oh, I've got to go mow the lawn again. Children learn what we teach them. Children remember what we hear, how our faces look when we approach a task. Let's change that. And we can begin by changing internally our own unconscious beliefs that this can't be fun because it's called work. I love to put a capital W on the word work for myself, so that every bit of work that I do is important. It is joyful. It is filled with love and commitment. Conscientious activity, which brings me joy. And I also love thinking of work and play as simply activity. What is the difference between the 2-foot lawnmower and the 6-foot lawnmower? I don't know if those are the right dimensions or not. I don't have a lawn to mow anymore. But what is the difference? Let's bring joy to it. Let's bring love to it. And let's move past these old ideas about toil or boredom. Let's not become those people who go to work, whether it's in our home offices or in an external office where we're still able to go. Let's not go there at 8 o'clock and watch the clock until 5 until we can finally become alive and go home and really not do much more than what we were doing there. This is a mindset that must be changed. We can change it one consciousness at a time. Because in moving past these old ideas about work as toil and boredom, we become free to contribute to the uniquening in our personal creative expression. Wouldn't you love to just feel happy and joyful about what you're doing all day long? Every minute of every day filled with what can I do next and how can I co-create something wonderful here that I never thought of before. The great ballet dancer and choreographer George Ballantyne was once asked, how do you create all of those amazing steps? What's your process? How do you do that? And he replied simply, I don't create them. God creates them. I simply rearrange them. There's a magnificence within us, a great presence and power that provides all the wisdom, all the energy, all the brilliance, all the creativity, and it flows through us in our own unique ways. We bring something into the world that no one else can do. The great Saint Walt Disney once said, do what you do so well that they're going to want you to do it again. Bring the best of ourselves by connecting with that deep presence of spirit within that is constantly innovative and creative and bringing forth new beautiful ideas. We're constantly given new inspiration and motivation when we are open to it. We want to continue to open our hearts and our minds to that glowing inspiration that makes everything we do enjoyable, knowing we're making a difference. We may never know how or for whom. And can you just let that be okay? I have learned to let that be okay. I do what I'm here to do. You do what you're here to do. And we allow that beautiful energy to move out into the world and touch people in ways we will never know. That's kind of exciting. It's a beautiful experience to know we're making a difference whether we ever see that difference or not. It's like teachers who plant seeds. And then the children move on the next year, and then they graduate, and it's very rare that they ever see them again. But they've planted seeds, and those seeds sprout, and they create beautiful fruit. We're all in the business of planting the seeds of love in our work, and knowing that nothing is minimal, and nothing is mundane, and everything we do that we do with love makes a difference. It's like friends of mine years ago who traveled to Paris, and my friend spoke French, and so she and her husband had enjoyed a beautiful meal in a Parisian restaurant, and she called the chef out afterwards in order to congratulate him on this beautiful meal. And she asked him in his own language how he made that food so beautiful and delicious. What special ingredients did he use? And he simply touched his heart and went like this, sprinkling that love on all the food that he made. Don't you see how powerful this is? Don't you see what a difference we can make by bringing newness to every minute of our day, rethinking what work truly can be for us? We also have the holy work of making essential changes in the greater environment, in the greater consciousness of humanity. We need to move beyond the divisiveness that we're seeing and experiencing in the world to honor and to respect and sense of real unity and delighting in unity in diversity. This is a very important work that we all have to do right now in our own way. I want to read something to you that was written by Richard Wright in 1944 called American Hunger. Our too young and too new America, lusty because it is lonely, aggressive because it is afraid, insists upon seeing the world in terms of good and bad, the holy and the evil, the high and the low, the white and the black. Our America is frightened of fact, of history, of processes, of necessity. It hugs the easy way of damning those it cannot understand, of excluding those who look different, and it salves its conscience with a self-draped cloak of righteousness. That was 1944. This is 2020. Oh, my beloveds, we still have our work to do. Our work of opening our hearts, our work of opening our minds, our work of becoming clearer that love is still the answer. Not the love of power, but the power of love, which is within our own hearts and minds. We came into this world with it. We need to be sending it out to everyone, every sentient being in the world. We need to be deepening our sense of what is valuable to us and living from those values. This is our work, and I'm rethinking my work. I want to give great and mighty thanks to all the workers in this world, spiritual and material, who continue to add to our lives. Just think of all the people in the world who do the jobs that you and I cannot do or do not do, whether it's in the area of the spiritual or the material. And then we choose to do our own important part with love and a realization that there is nothing that is less important than anything else. That we are here as the beloveds to make a difference, to lift our consciousness above what the world may want to have us believe. Let's rethink our own work. Let's give great and mighty thanks for the power within us that makes our work brilliant and unique and satisfying and uplifting for more people than we may ever know. Will you say with me, I think creatively. I work joyfully. I bring brilliance to all that I do. I bring inspiration to my work. I bring love to everything to which I touch my hands, my mind, and my heart. And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Now is the time of our offertory. What a great opportunity to give to the closest source of our spiritual food. Whatever your gift may be, we appreciate it if this is the closest source of your spiritual food, or wherever it is. But we thank you so much for keeping our center alive and aware and doing its good work and continuing to do that after we're all back together again. So you can look at your screen, you can see all the different ways that you may make a contribution. And we're so thankful to you. And now let's state our prosperity affirmation as we take our gift in our hands, metaphorically or physically, and hold them to our heart if we wish. And please say with me, I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered. And so it is.
Today while it rained, I washed the jars, and then I lit a flame, let the water to start, and at the end of the day, lined up to cool and seal 12 pints of spice peach jam, 20 jars of dill beans canned from an old recipe that my mother gave to me, because it's good to put a little bit by for when the late snows fly. All that love so neatly canned by the work of our hands. They lay hands on boards and bricks and loud machines with shovels and rakes and buckets of soap they clean, and eyeball shelves and carry loads, whisper thanks to the brooms and saws, the dirty boots and coveralls, and bow my head to the waitress and nurse, tip my hat to the farmer and clerk, all those saints with skillets and pans and the work of their hands. Out of hot water, the work of our hands so faithful and true. I make something barely there, music is a little more than air, so now every year I'll put by tomatoes and pears, boil the lids and wipe the lid with a callous fingertip, and I swear by the winter ground we'll open one and pass the thing around. Let the light catch the jar, amber gold as a falling star. It's humble and physical, it's only love made visible. Understand, it's the
Hello everyone, my name is Edie Janik and I serve as the Secretary for the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living Board of Trustees. It's a beautiful September day outside and I hope that you have plans to get out there and enjoy it. But before you go anywhere, let me share with you today's announcements. First of all, Reverend Mike continues his Science of Mind textbook book club on Zoom each Saturday from 9:45 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can jump in anytime. I encourage you to do so. I try to join as often as possible, and it has been a wonderful, truly wonderful experience. It is free. We do accept love offerings. You can email Reverend Mike at Rev Mike at cslphilly.org if you'd like to join. Secondly, Dr. Maxine is also starting an 8-week class, Science of Mind, Treat Yourself to Life. It's an accredited class. It's beginning this Tuesday, September 8th, via Zoom from 6:30 to 9 p.m. It's a powerful 8-week class based on the book with the same title by Raymond Charles Barker. Practical, positive tools are provided to change unwanted patterns and bring greater good into the basic areas of life, like health, prosperity, relationships, and creative expression. Who doesn't want that? To register for this class, please email Linda at admin@cslphilly.com. You'll need to do that today or Monday if you'd like to join the class on Tuesday. Next we have Reverend Mike is offering a new 4-week class entitled Your Invisible Power by Ernest Holmes, starting Monday, September 14th from 6:45 to 9 p.m. This mind-expanding, non-accredited Zoom class is based on Ernest Holmes' book, Your Invisible Power. This series is given on a love offering basis and provides students with a deeper understanding of who they are, their place in the universe, and the power that is theirs to use. Again, who doesn't want that? This class is a rare gem. For more details, you can go to our events calendar on our website, which is www.cslphilly.org, where you can also view all of our past Sunday celebrations, Dr. Maxine and Reverend Mike's love notes daily. It's all there for you to view and enjoy. On the business side of things, you'll want to mark your calendar for a very important meeting. It's our annual community membership meeting. It's being held on September 20th at 12:30 p.m. This is going to be a fun and informative, unlike no other meeting, to review our past year, chart the course for the future, and elect new board members. We'll be holding it via Zoom. If you are a member and haven't received the information about the meeting, please email Linda at admin@cslphilly.com, or you can call the office. Changing our Zoom Sunday socials to once a month, and it will be held on the first Sunday of each month. So grab your cup of coffee, favorite beverage, and go to zoom.us, or you can do that by computer or iPhone and enter the ID number 839-510-32452. All right, that's all the announcements I have for you today. So you crazy kids, get out there and enjoy this wonderful September day. Thank you. Have a great day.
Edie, it's always good to see you and hear from you. Well, we do have these classes starting, so give a call if you want more information. Jump in if you can. This is where we really get to experience the joy and the wonder of what Science of Mind is teaching us and how we can change our lives through it. Now, today is the first of the month, which means two things. One is we do have now our monthly Zoom gathering in a little while. And the other is it's birthday Sunday. So wherever you are, if you are a September baby, stand up because we're going to sing to you now. Ready? Hit it, Maestro. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear birthday. Happy birthday to you. We're glad you were born. Now our closing song is one of our faves, and it was written by our own Emily Zoll. And she and the music team will perform it for us now. actually from last year, but it's still good. It's called Thankful Hearts.
With thankful hearts we end this time. With thankful hearts we say goodbye. We show our love and share our home with each other. We're not alone. With thankful hearts we end this time. With thankful hearts we say goodbye. We show our love and share our home with each other. We're not alone.
And so we give thanks for our opportunity to enter in with love to each task, each activity, with such joy and such gratitude. We go forth giving thanks for that which is ours to do. And so it is.